Hello everyone, welcome to today's Stocks and Crypto Weekly Watchlist video. I am No FOMO Charts. Today is February 15, 2025, just after 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's jump right into the stock charts and crypto charts, and then we'll do the watchlist at the end. SPY, S&P 500 ETF, we are currently under $610 resistance. Still in this uptrend for 2024 into 25, still in a long-term uptrend, just barely reaching this resistance point. The weekly chart not showing an extreme sign of weakness or anything. We're actually okay with a little bit of momentum here. The monthly chart is still up in the air in the overbought zone. Daily chart, RSI is still 56. It really depends probably on earnings and the intraday traders. 4-hour chart actually looking like, because of all the tariffs, it was actually turning into more of this consolidation type of pattern. So we do have a bit of this breakout. The 4-hour still in the golden up cross. Need to hold above 608 support. Watching that very closely this week. And the hourly is in a golden up cross, except you could see all the tariffs would cause us to go oversold. Algorithms, I would say aggressive bulls, pro traders, they bought those dips and try to play the market for several days. And so it's getting basically higher low, technically a little bit, almost every major dip since the middle of January. So this breakout is actually a little bit significant to me. See if we can maintain that momentum. But in terms of me as a buyer, I like to buy around the EMA averages. So wait for that to come down if it ever comes down. QQQ on the daily chart, still in the long-term uptrend for basically almost 3 years now. So we dipped down to the 100 EMA off of the DeepSeek crash with NVIDIA. And we're still at that resistance just below 539.26. But right now we're in the air because of some tech stocks like Meta, Apple, NVIDIA actually rallying a little bit. So holding off this support 521.86. Need to maintain that. We're quite in this range right now. 3 days of green, 3.17% to the upside. Again, I like to buy around the EMA 50 or EMA 20. I don't really like to buy in the air because it becomes a little bit overextended. How do I know when we're going to get too overextended? I can open up a Bollinger Band or a linear regression. And then once we pop out of the linear regression and the Bollinger Band, that might be the next spot to go short. So I'm not going to be an aggressive short right now because the landscape has changed. Monthly is a bullish engulfing candle. The weekly chart, we bounced off of the 12 EMA, almost the 20 EMA. Daily chart, finally. This could be interpreted as an upside down head and shoulders or just a breakout or just a uptrend reversal. The 4-hour chart, we're in a golden cross still. We did not actually death cross, which is okay. Let me turn some of this off. We didn't actually death cross, which is fine. So just playing these oversold bounces. And if we go to a 1-hour chart, we can see that it's not extreme overbought and the EMAs are open right now. So it's on a daily chart, we bounced up and that's actually totally fine for now. We bypassed most tech earnings except for, let's say, NVIDIA. Moving on. I encourage people, if somebody's feeling overwhelmed by the chart, sometimes the best thing is just turn everything off. Not delete everything, just hide it here in the icon. And it does help visualize what is actually happening. So since 2023, the Dow Jones has been in an uptrend. What I'm seeing immediately right away is that we are under resistance of 451. That's the spot that I'm watching very closely in my notes. This could be a weekly lower high because it's technically lower than November 2024, February 2025. We had this nice oversold MACD momentum reversal and then tariffs. almost had a double top, but right now it's basically just flagging here inside this pennant. Okay, so this is what one of the, I just call it a flag, psychological. So it could break out about 1.5% to the upside, which would take us to about 452. If it breaks down, that could also take us to 436. It's a symmetrical triangle. It could break either way. Monthly chart, starting to get a little bit overextended, not extreme, however. Weekly chart, not extreme either. I want to pull up a moving average here. We bounced off that 20 weekly EMA, that's okay. The daily hesitating, but above the 20 EMA. So that's why it's not extreme. We're not up in the moon sky right now. It's just a little bit above average in the past 20 days. 4 hours, still golden cross indicated here. Yellow line above the red line, 50 above the 200. And we're starting to see that symmetrical triangle right above the 20 EMA. RSI basically neutral. Some momentum building on the H4 chart. And we're holding. So I will know we're in trouble on Dow Jones as a swing trader if the hourly starts to actually downtrend. That could happen because the support is way down here at 443. And the intraday traders, or if there's breaking news over the next 4 or 5 days, I need to see the support level above 444 hold. If it doesn't, I'm expecting a little bit of downside just because we're so high. If I want to get really into it, 15-minute, but I can see it's basically symmetrical triangle sideways, so I don't need to go that deep. Let's go to Russell 2000. Now, small caps, if you've been following small cap stocks, sometimes they have a psychological effect on some of the meme trading stocks. So RGTI, for example, looks very similar. I'm bouncing between charts now. The quantum RGTI, you can see we bounced up, and then it's starting to go sideways, basically. Russell 2000, same thing. Bounced up and basically going sideways. So small caps not really doing well right now. Large caps are doing better, such as Meta, Apple bounced, NVIDIA bounced even too. So that's why. Large caps were the play the past couple of months in general. There's some other stocks as well. But basically stuck below the resistance level. This is the consolidation price going sideways, is what I'm saying here. So I'm not going to do anything unless I see a meaningful break above 229 price level. And then the support below the 200 EMA is about 218. Those are the two levels I'm basically watching. The monthly chart, I'm going to leave it on line chart because it's kind of messy. A little bit of slanted potential head and shoulders action. Not quite overextended. Weekly chart, just above the 20 EMA, momentum's building. That's going to take a couple of weeks. We just went over the daily chart. RSI neutral, holding above the 100 EMA. 4 hour, it's below the 200 EMA, still consolidating to the side. There's some MACD histogram momentum, but it's not oversold or anything, so I'm not going to see a meaningful bounce as fast as we want to. And the hourly is basically in the middle of that triangle, and the RSI is neutral as well, so it's not my setup. I like playing oversold bounce reversals because I don't like buying in the middle per se, or when the RSI is neutral, because that just could be the halfway point sometimes. So anything's possible, but right now, looking at these charts, it's not really showing me much as a swing trader in terms of my perfect setups. Waiting for that. Let's move along here. A couple more. Gold, the flight to safety. If you know gold, when people get fear, uncertainty, doubt, or they think the market's going to crash, some people hedge their positions, not by selling their entire portfolio in panic, but buying gold or by buying certain stocks that they think might be going up. So gold ETF rallied for 2 months, basically, or 1 month, 1.5 months, 10%. That's a lot for gold. So what was the setup? Just as a quick review, it was in a giant symmetrical triangle, and the move could be 8%, and then we went exactly 8%, and somebody sold off a little bit. So the monthly is showing a bit of a shooting star. It's in the overbought range on the RSI. The weekly, we had a gap up doji. It's starting to show a little bit of bearish momentum on the oscillators. Not quite the final spot, but we're making a higher high in the price, and then the RSI is making a lower low. The daily chart, let's open up. I like to use Bollinger Bands and linear regression. This is it. This is what I'm talking about. One of the setups that I like is when it's above the linear regression. We know for past 100 days, it is in the overbought zone, confirmed with RSI, and the MACD histogram is starting to downtrend. The 4-hour chart MACD signal line is down, and then we're having what I like to call three falling waves of momentum on the RSI, and that's going to confirm that short that happened yesterday. But if you're an intraday trader, the hourly is starting to set up for oversold, the 15-minute as well, even though it's death crossed here, the RSI is getting low. So we could get another dump down. Possibly one scenario is sometimes it bounces, and if you get a rejection, then it gets double oversold, creating another momentum play on the hourly. So it could dump all the way down to the next level, 264 or 263.86. And then the resistance above 266.86 and 267. So that's how I'm going to play gold if I decide to do that this week or not. Last two, copper ETF. Now, there's a lot on this chart. Like I said, easiest thing to do is just hide everything. So I'll just leave my EMAs up here. And we'll hide the drawings. And it's a little bit hard to see, but there is a golden cross on copper, this yellow line above the red line, 50 above the 200. And that confirmed we had a triangle resistance breakout, momentum play, rally, fall back down to where the EMA moving average is, bounce trade of 8 to 10%. Now we're on a daily chart. So it is above the linear regression zone, a little bit in the high zone. Right now, the price is not relative low. Just watch out for that. And the weekly large doji candle, I'm on a log scale right now. So even if I change it back to linear, it's still a doji candle. It's very large, right below the 236 area, 29.42 price. So this double bottom setup, the first part of it's complete was probably, I'm anticipating short-term day traders trying to play off of this bearish evening star just to get one pullback down to one of the EMAs on intraday. So H4 chart is starting to, it already pulled back. The hourly approaching the 100 EMA, which is 28.86. That could be the first downside target, second downside target, 28.13. And then it could get oversold and then bounce. So it's very similar to gold where you might see this dump one more time on an hourly time frame before it gets really oversold into the RSI, and then you have like some kind of V-shaped bounce or something. But the way I like to chart this is not just EMAs, is put trend line, make sure I'm in extended hours so I get all the price action, and then draw some trend lines, and then we can see we had the first break outside of February. So the past 14, 15 days is the first breakdown of the price. So that's why I'm anticipating some selling off in the intraday. Last one, natural gas. Golden cross. However, this is happening after a long rally. So I played natural gas on a daily chart from this spot. I identified I'm out of this trade now, but I identified the upside down head and shoulders, and I held through as long as I could, and then I closed, right? But it's actually the beginning. If you look at it on a weekly chart, there was massive bullish momentum on a weekly chart, and we just broke above the 50. So the next long-term target is $25, which is the previous level of resistance, $30. If we really get bullish, $40, depending on the supply and demand. So all I'm saying is it's at a temporary resistance right now below $20 Bollinger Band. It's not extreme. So we could bounce a little bit more. But if the market's just going to take the profit at $20, even because the 4-hour has this double top on the RSI, we could pull back down to the 20 EMA, which is $19, 1832 or 1775. If it's really bad, 1675. But most likely, we're just going to bounce tap, like I say, line touch this in terms of 20 EMA right here at $19. So the hourly is neutral RSI for now. And we have a golden cross on February 5, 15-minute starting to set up. You can see the trend reversal, right? So once it reverses, we can go long again, or you just ignore all the oscillators, just understanding basic trend as well and try to capture that. So for me, because I'm out of this trade, I'm just waiting. I'm just patient because sometimes I know it doesn't always work on technical analysis charts, but sometimes the price will come back to the EMA. So if it really comes back down to 1650 or so, somewhere around there, or maybe even 1781, I might re-enter with a smaller position size. Okay, let's switch over to crypto. Just a couple charts here, maybe 4 or 5. Thank you for watching, everybody. If you like this video, if you learned something, go ahead and click subscribe, hit the like button and notification bell. Let's go to crypto. Total market cap. Still consolidating to the side. We had a nice bounce trade. So I remember last week, I was saying it's not my perfect setup yet. However, once it starts going sideways, the price, you get a lot of wick dip buyers buying these lows here because it's oversold on 515 when it dipped down like that. You have multiple hammer candles and then start to reverse in the trend up. And then I went long as well. However, the risk is in a long-term monthly chart, there's a hanging man candle. We have 2-3 months of basically going sideways. That's really not good to see. The weekly chart, we had that MACD down cross from last time. However, we held that hammer candle and we're trying to hold above the 20 EMA weekly right now. The daily holding above the 100 and the 200 EMAs. The silver lining that I'm seeing on the charts right now, the MACD histogram is starting to build. The last immediate time this happened, last December 2024, price went up, came back down, and held support, and we had one more rally. So I'm hoping we continue the rally and not reject. I want to warn people of the bearish scenario because if this is low, high, low, high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low. If this is a lower high, below 3.2 trillion, we could still dump on crypto. So one MACD histogram might not save the market right now because of what's happening. So just be aware. We already flash crash tested that one time, but if we really start to downtrend and sell off, probably we might see some additional red if it happens. So again, I like oversold plays or I like golden cross plays. So this is neither for me on a 4-hour. So I'm just going to keep waiting. If somebody's really aggressive, hourly, we do have the golden cross, a little bit of MACD momentum, and the 15 minutes barely holding that 15-minute 200 EMA. We need to hold about 3.17 trillion as well. I'm going real detailed because usually the mistake that can happen is if somebody just looks at a daily chart for 5 seconds, it's not all the information. Let's go to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin inside this symmetrical triangle, going sideways right now, the good and the bad and the ugly. Let's start with the good. The good is we're holding that support trend line just above 96,000. We zoom in. We can see though, candle body wicks on the bottom side here, all the way down. We dipped out at 94,000 one day and we're not going below that. So obviously companies like Strategy or big whales, they're liking everything that they see. Any dip, they're saying, I want more Bitcoin. I want more Bitcoin. So that's why they're buying that and holding. Now we're just stuck below all the moving averages. Price is below average right now, below 50-day EMA, which is why it's a little dangerous. And the symmetrical triangle is literally going sideways to the right. So we need more news and more events because the volatility could be plus or minus 15%, which would take us either to $112,000 Bitcoin or would flash crashes back down to 86,000. So we just want to watch out. Immediate 93,000 support, 84,000 is the next level. Monthly, am I seeing any warnings? It's in the overbought zone for now on RSI. Weekly chart, we do have that MACD down cross from last week. However, intraday wanted to bounce. Daily chart, that MACD histogram is forming. Not quite ready to explode in any direction yet. The 4 hours death cross, but this is basically was a falling wedge type of pattern. And then we broke out of there bullish, which is good. The hourly golden cross, which is good for now. So you could see the trend change. If it's going to trend change, it's really trying right now, literally right now. People were probably busy. It was Valentine's Day yesterday weekend and President's Day weekend. So people are on holiday right now. Some people are. And the weather is bad in half of America right now. So I can understand why this is hesitating. Like this. Going down. Hold the upside down in the shoulders. And then this is the chance. If we're going to bounce, it needs to happen in the next 2 weeks. So we're going to see if that happens or not. Let's go to Ethereum. Let's just use a clean chart. Ethereum USDT. First off, right away, death cross. 50 EMA is below the 200 EMA, death cross. However, there's still a chance because I like this MACD histogram that's starting to show a little bit of momentum. It would have been better if the price like this setup in October, November, where I went long because the price is going sideways, is a clear breakout with momentum. This is a different situation. It's 50-50 for now because death cross with a bit of momentum, which one is it going to be, right? So that's why. It really depends on the day traders to kickstart the direction for this now. Monthly, we have a double top below 3,800, which is bad. Weekly, we also have this resistance. You could see 3,865. Hit that multiple times. But there's also multiple support level down here at the 2,238 level. The daily chart with the death cross. 4-hour charts already death cross. So if we can hold these lows above 2,500, it's okay to go sideways. Yes, it was a descending triangle, and then it broke out to the upside. So we need to make sure we definitely hold above 2,600. The hourly starting to reverse just like Bitcoin. But I want to caution people. We just saw in the stock market, BBAI is an example of news that took us upward. And SoundHound is an example of news changing and one day crashing. One day crashing. So any news related to crypto could crash us in this market if it's bad news. So that's why. We could just maybe even also another scenario just for food for thought is we had this similar type of flash crash back in July 24. It's almost the same setup. The blue into this blue circle. More specifically, we had a death cross, we had a crash down and a bounce up, consolidation to the side, one more rally, and then continuation down. That could exactly happen again. It's almost the same thing. We rallied up, we're going sideways. If we can hold the supports, we might have one rally up and then reject from the EMA like that. And then once I see multiple bottoms or a range breakout, then I'm going to play Ethereum more than I am now. I bought a little bit just because of the momentum that I'm seeing. And because of this, maybe we might do the same setup on Ethereum. That's just me, however. Solana USDT. Just want to remind people here, we're right basically above the 200 EMA, which is $189.24. We can create a trend line. And we're starting to really go range bound between 183 and 261. It's a 40% range. It's very large. And again, that MACD histogram starting to build. It's not oversold, so this is not the greatest setup at this point in time. The monthly is consolidating. Weekly could dump. This could dump. Right? Why? Because meme coins are at all-time high popularity. Solana had multiple chances to try to break above 250 2-3 times. We're not doing that. And we should, if it was bullish, we should have had an evening star reversal. That did not happen. So I'm a little bit more bearish on Solana. And I'm suspicious. If this price falls below 190, then we could have a flash crash dump on Solana. Unfortunately, 4-hour is still in that descending triangle pattern. So the volatility is plus or minus 8%. Hourly, death cross, still in that pattern. However, in the hourly, I do see a little bit of MACD histogram. So probably what's going to happen is because of lack of liquidity, a little dump down to 189, and then somebody might buy that here. So maybe down and then up if it's going to be regular trading. Let's do two more and wrap up. Doge USDT is very similar chart to Solana. And there's a relationship because of Elon Musk, Dogecoin, Trump, President Trump, meme coins, right? There's that relationship right now. So there's the sentiment. I like how this MACD histogram is a little bit more open. That's because we rallied above the 200 EMA, around 27 cents right now. We actually tapped almost to 30 RSI. So finally, that hasn't happened since August 2024. However, if the downtrend continues, we're going to lose this golden cross and then it'll death cross on us. Okay, so just want to watch out for that. Monthly, tap that 1226 monthly, starting to downtrend, low, high, low. Piercing that 50, RSI neutral on the weekly. We just went over the daily chart, which bounced above 200 EMA. 4 hour, you can see the trend change attempt. We have a trend line, symmetrical triangle, breakout, and then people trying to barely buy Bitcoin and altcoins right now. I like the 1 hour golden cross. Need to hold above 26 cents. 15-minute hovering at that 200 EMA. It's real choppy right now. Not quite ready to go, but I do like, you could see visually we went from down to sideways to up. So remember, downtrend, sideways consolidation, uptrend. So I have to be patient, either by here, point A or point B. I could long at point C if I let it come down enough. All right, and to wrap up, death crosses that I'm seeing, remember, the EMAs are a lagging indicator, so is the MACD. So that's why I don't give it full commitment or credence into what I'm doing. But if we open up the watch list, go down to AVAX, we could just see we have a death cross. It's in the oversold range bounce. We could get one more dump and then it'll get really oversold. So just watch out because this death cross is more susceptible to bearish sell-off. DOT has a death cross. SHIB has a death cross. Trump off the news had the Trump coin had the rally, but then 20% sell-off. Atom death cross. Near death cross. Link holding 200 EMA support. Bitcoin Cash death cross. Ethereum Classic death cross. So just watch out. Watch out. Sometimes when you have death crosses on altcoins, crash potentially, right? If we don't rally back up, it's probably not going to go that direction and then a reject down. Okay, so let's end this video. Thank you for watching. I'm going to end with my notes now. Do reverse this week. So this is the February 15, 2025 video, Saturday night. We just went over all of the setups that I talked about. Now, in terms of earnings releases, I don't always trade or watch every earnings or even witness it. It's just understanding that some of the larger companies can move the market, like Occidental Petroleum, Analog Devices for stocks. Walmart is going to be the biggest earnings next week. They had a wonderful stock rally. Block, formerly Square, and Rivian, which has a little bit of relationship to EV and Amazon company as well. Economic data, President Trump speaks, FOMC meeting minutes, manufacturing services PMI, and some other data, unemployment claims. Stock market news. Stock markets closed on Monday, February 17th, 2025. Stock market earnings season continues as retail and other companies. I'm looking forward to the next set of retail. President Trump's team, the officials from the White House, reportedly they're going to start peace talks regarding the Russia-Ukraine war and the peace talks beginning in Saudi Arabia. President Trump's reciprocal tariffs include 25% tariffs on all aluminum and steel imports in the USA, 25% tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico, 10% tariffs on imports from China, and more tariffs could be started in the upcoming months. OpenAI rejected Elon Musk's bid to buy out the rival AI company. So OpenAI rejected Elon Musk. Attorneys general from 14 USA states filed lawsuits against Elon Musk, challenging his authority to access sensitive government data and funds. Crypto news. President Trump's World Liberty Financial WLF company announced a strategic token reserve to hold Bitcoin, Ethereum, and potentially altcoins. The US SEC also acknowledged XRP and Doge ETF filings, as well as Litecoin and Solana ETF applications. The SEC also paused their lawsuit against Binance for 60 days and requested an additional 28 days to review and respond to Coinbase's lawsuit. This is mainly because of the new SEC task force that has been hired and the new acting SEC chairman as well. Lastly, this is more of a warning than an announcement. Pump.fun, the notorious meme coin trading platform, launched a meme coin trading mobile app for Apple and Android devices. It gets worse due to increased popularity in the past year. So I'm going to warn people, caution people, beware of meme coin scams, volatility, losses, and risk. I am aware of meme coin and Web3 meme coin exchanges and trading. Just watch out, because if you watch a lot of them, they are scams. They're pump and dumps. They're rug pulls. They'll go up for just a small amount, and then the developer of the coin will just rug pull and sell everything, right? So somebody could lose all their funds. So just be very, very careful. With meme coin trading, it's possible to lose some or all of your funds trading. So be very, very careful. And even official meme coins can crash back down to nothing. So it's extremely volatile, but it's kind of interesting they're making a mobile app. All right, everybody, thank you for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and click subscribe, click the like button, hit the notification bell, and hope you have a nice week. I'll see you in the next video.